you call?
Yes, something's wrong with my sister. Follow me. In here! Look at her, she won't stop throwing up.
Yes, I see.
Is that holy water?
No, I was just thirsty.
Is that at least the Bible?
No, it's my checklist that I'm gonna do after this.
Ah, yes. Very busy.
Are you gonna do anything?
Don't worry, child. I've done this before, I think. Everything's going to be okay, my child.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Howl's Random Deck Profiles, and today we bring you a more recent deck. Yes, we bring you EXOSISTERs. I hope you enjoyed that little intro. It's my kiddos, they like helping me out. They even play some games. I'll put a card up here. One of them actually made a deck profile. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If not, just skip over them. I totally understand if you find them not funny or cringy or stuff like that. Don't worry, I won't take it personally. So yes, EXOSISTERs, the deck that revolves around hating cards from the grave. They really need to have like a partner to work. Just know now it'll be like an uphill battle whenever you play this deck. It's not exactly a meta deck, it's a fun casual deck. And what I mean by partners is all these name other cards in your text, like this one needs EXOSISTER Stella, to do additional effects. They do have their own effects, but you know, you'll get some life point gains and stuff like that. So first off, starting with 3 of each EXOSISTER you have right here. They all have the same last effect where if your opponent moves a card or cards out of either player's graveyard except during damage step, you can special summon from your deck from your extra deck, one EXOSISTER XYZ monster using this face-up card you control as a material. It's treated as an XYZ summon, and you can only use the effects of this card once per turn. Alright, so you can't bring out like 3 if you have 3 of these. So yeah, that's their effects for each of these, their secondary effects. Her first effect is if you control another EXOSISTER monster, you can special summon her from the hand, and then if you control a Stella, you'll gain 800 life points. Why they all make you gain life points is because their spells make you pay life points. So you kind of try to balance that out, I guess. Moving on here. With her, you can place one EXOSISTER card from your hand to the bottom of the deck, and then draw 1 free card, and then if you control Sophia, which is this one, my favorite one, the best one probably, you gain 800 life points. Moving on to Stella. During your main phase, you can special summon one EXOSISTER monster from your hand. Then if you control, what is it, Ellis? I don't want to butcher her name. But yeah, you'll gain 800 life points. So that's a free, she makes this like a double summon here. But it's a special summon, so there you go. Then the best one, Sophia. Why is she the best one? Because if you control an EXOSISTER monster, you can just draw 1 free card. And then if you control Irene, you gain 800 life points. Now, this list here is influenced by other deck profiles that you've probably seen of this deck. And using these dudes right here is such a smart idea. It's really good. Credit to all those deck lists out there that do this. I think these are the cards that came from the Charmer deck, I believe. I don't exactly remember. But yeah, if you control a Spellcaster monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. And why do we run different ones instead of like 3 of the same one? Because they have that effect where you can only control 1 of each. Say you can only control 1 Gigabyte, you can only control 1 of this one, yada yada yada. They all have their secondary effects as well. This one, you know, if it's destroyed by battle or card effects, since the graveyard, you can special summon a monster with 1500 attack or 200 defense, except for Gigabyte, which could be any of these other ones right here. But the point being, if you have multiple of these in your hand, and you control a Spellcaster, which is all your EXOSISTERs, you could just keep dropping them. You could drop all 4 if you have all 4 and you haven't had a Spellcaster on the field. Now, if you want to bump up the numbers, that's totally up to you. But 1 of each is pretty damn good. Moving on to the hand traps, you have 3 Gammas. Of course, your driver for the Gammas. And 2 Nibiru. Probably want to run more hand traps, more field destruction. Like I said, it is an uphill battle. But I'm comfortable with this. And Gamma's just so good sometimes. Keep in mind how I say sometimes, because sometimes you draw. I have the bad luck where I always open with this dude. But when I don't, you know, it's such a good card. 2 Dark Ruler No More. I have the 3rd one here in the side deck. It's a good card, like I keep saying, uphill battle. So, you know, you want to shut down your monster effects and try to go off on your own. Don't worry about not dealing damage. you don't deal that much damage anyways. So you have to try to control the duel. One Monster Reborn. It's a good card. 3 Pot of Prosperity. Probably extravagance if you could afford that better in real life. But since this is a game and they're free, you know, might as well run 3 of these. Like I said, don't worry about not dealing damage with this one or dealing half damage with this one. You don't deal that much damage anyways. You only have one way to OTK here. And it's a very standard way of OTKing in any type of rank 4 deck. Now here's one of their spell cards. Their spell cards are so good. Now this one, you pay 100 life points, and during your opponent's turn only, unless they control monster that was special summoned from the graveyard, you can target one XYZ monster in your extra deck with a different name from the cards you control, and by using one of these other monsters in the field as a target, an X monster, right? You could XYZ it, using that card as a material, and if it's an XYZ monster, you could transfer its materials over to this new one. So that's one way of XYZing during your opponent's turn, as well as your monster's effects to being able to XYZ during their turn as well. You have their search card, such a good search card, pay 100 life points, and an EXOSISTER card, okay? Not a monster, a card, from your deck to your hand, except for another copy of this card. Then, if you control a monster that has the other name on the field, you can special summon it. For example, if you have Irene, you have her on the field, and you add Sophia, which is in her card text, to your hand, you can just bring her out instead. Such a good card. Like I said, it searches out any card. Keep that in mind, because, you know, you could use other spells and traps for later. Moving on here, we have this continuous spell card that helps you by making sure neither player can target your EXOSISTER monsters you control with the effects of monsters that were special summoned from the graveyard. Now, once per turn, if you XYZ summon an EXOSISTER monster, I can't keep saying EXOSISTER, it's just like a tongue twister, I'm sorry. If you bring one of them out, you can declare one card name and negate the activated effects of that card until the end of the turn. So one card name. So if you know what your opponent is playing, you can pick like a monster or a spell, something you know they're probably going to use, and negate that effect until the end of the turn. It's once per turn. You can also use it during your opponent's turn if you bring out an XYZ monster using the spell or one of their effects. And then another thing, if you have a battle involving one of your EXOSISTER monsters, you can target one spirit trap your opponent controls and destroy it. Now, why did I skip over this one? Because it's really self-explanatory. This is the only way you can OTK in this deck, at least for me, unless you somehow spam them with like all these and they're wide open. Double or Nothing, such a good card for rank 4 decks. Bring out your Utopia double, make it into Utopia, use Double or Nothing, attack for 10,000. There you go. Even if you're running over a monster, most likely you're going to be winning that game if they can't stop the attack. Alright, moving on to the traps. Of course, 3 Infinite Imperms. And 3 of this trap is such a good trap. You pay 800 life points, choose an EXOSISTER monster from your deck. Then you choose another EXOSISTER monster from your deck that has that card mentioned on it. Like I said, you know, you could target this card, and then it'll also let you target Sophia because it's in its text. And special summon both of them onto the field. And at the end of the turn, they get shuffled back into the deck. But if you're using this during your turn, you could just XYZ. But you can also use this during your opponent's turn if you're like in some desperate need. They're about to attack directly, activate it, you bring out some shields right there, some defense monsters. But if you bring this out and you also have this one face down, you know, you could also use it and bring out an XYZ monster right there during your opponent's turn. So such a good card. Moving on to extra deck, 2 of each of the XYZ EXOSISTERs. Now they're like the effect monsters where they have a shared effect, and their shared effect is this. This is the last effect right here where, oh sorry, the first effect. Yeah, they cannot be destroyed by the activated effects of monsters special summoned from the graveyard. They all share that effect, and then they each have 2 effects. One of them is just a base effect, and the second one is an effect where you can only use if you brought them out using an EXOSISTER monster. Like this one. You can only use her effects once per turn. If this card was XYZ summoned using an EXOSISTER monster as a material, quick effect, you could target one effect monster your opponent controls and negate its effects until the end of the turn. Then, its regular effect is, you can attach one material from this card. For the rest of the turn, all XYZ monsters you control gain 800 attack. Pretty good, can make monsters beefy right there. She has a great defense too. Moving on to this one, same original first effect. And then you have it as monsters brought out using the EXOSISTER monster as a material. You can activate this effect. Neither player can activate cards from their graveyard this turn. And then its regular effect is you could attach one material from this card and target one monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand. Next one. If this card is brought out using Exorcister monster's material, you can activate this effect. Either player can special summon monsters from their graveyards for the rest of this turn. And then its regular effect is you can attach one material from this card, add one Exorcister monster from your deck to your hand. Just a lot of grave hate. I kind of wish they had more hate towards other things, but that's the theme of this deck. They're kind of a bunch of Abyss Dwellers, which you also have here anyways. Under head honcho card right here, if you brought this out using the Exorcister monster, I keep trying to call them XYZ monsters. If you bring this card out using the Exorcister monster as a material, quick effect, you can target one card your opponent controls or in their graveyard and banish it. So that's just a quick banish right there from the field or the grave. And its regular effect is you can attach one material, add one Exorcister spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. So like I said, it's a fun deck. You just gotta really concentrate on bringing stuff out during your opponent's turn to shut down their grave or banish or stuff like that. Moving on, Tornado Dragon, pop some backfield. Emerald, shuffle back, draw one card. Your Abyss Dweller to complete the Graveyard Hate. Your Utopia double to get your double or nothing. And of course you need your Utopia. So many rank 4s in here, of course, might as well throw in the bead to overlay on top of those. And of course a Zeus, because like I said, your whole extra deck is nothing but XYZs. You could throw in some links in here. Probably some of the Charmers, you can use some different ones because you have different types here. Or a second Zeus. I don't know, it's up to you. As for extra deck, we have 3 Ash, 3 Droll, 3 Raigeki. I mean, if I'm playing online and I'm using freaking Prosperity, I might as well go all out and bring out 3 Lightning Storms instead, but 3 Raigeki, because why not? Fire Duster, your 3rd Dark Ruler, 2 Secret Village, because these are Spellcaster monsters, and 2 Trench Tribute, just because why not? Blow up more field. Keep an eye out for a giveaway video coming soon. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and let us know in the comments what else you want to see, and I'll see you guys next time, and have an awesome day.
Wait! It did